Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Monday, January 15th, 2018. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, on Sunday, January 14th, made an appeal for help to achieve a new paradigm for Nevis. Premier Brantley was a keynote speaker at the 19th annual luncheon put on by Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated at the LaGuardia Airport Marriott in Elmhurst, New York. Thanking the organization for the invitation to address its prestigious annual event, he shared his vision for the island, a place, he said, where we care for our sick and infirm, honor our senior citizens, where persons with disabilities have their seat at the table, every child has access to quality health care and education, crime is brought under control and criminals find no comfort, where we respect and protect our environment, respect each other, grow our economy, and create sustainable jobs, where every Nevisian and every person who calls Nevis home can aspire to be the best that he or she can be. The Premier said, in short, he wants Nevis to be the absolute best place in the Caribbean to live and work. Noting that Nevisians in the diaspora live in large countries such as the great United States of America and have acquired education, vast skills, and in the case of many, great wealth, have been exposed to the very best in technology and innovation, and have access to quality health care and quality education, Premier Brantley implored the audience to put to use their wealth of experience, talent, energy, and money to assist in the development of Nevis. Premier Brantley applauded the Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated, whom he said has done and continues to do yeoman service for the people of Nevis living in the New York and surrounding areas and for Nevisians at home. It is a model organization whose longevity has been assured by the commitment of its executive and the members to the cause of Nevis. Meantime, Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, also applauded Hearts and Hands for Nevis Incorporated for seeing it right and just to honor 3 outstanding Nevisians. The late Pearline Liebert, who served the organization and Nevis well. Premier Brantley said she was in her lifetime a tower of strength to many and inspired him greatly whenever they had occasion to speak. Let us remember her rich legacy of service. The other 2 honorees were equally committed servants of Nevis, Premier Brantley noted. The Honorable Ewell Swanston, who was at one point a leading political voice in Nevis and a stalwart of the Nevis Reformation Party. Mr. Swanston has served the people of Gingerland and the people of Nevis, in St. Kitts, Nevis, and beyond our shores. The Premier applauded Swanston and his lifetime of dedicated service to the Nevisian people. Lastly, Her Honor Marjorie Morton, Acting Deputy Governor General. She has led an exemplary life of service to her family, her God, and her country. Premier Brantley said he is delighted that she has served with such distinction and has entered the history books as the very first woman to hold the position of Deputy Governor General of Nevis. A total of 588 men received free prostate exams on Saturday, January 13, 2018, at the Occasions Entertainment Center. The Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, Junior Minister with responsibility for health and gender affairs in the Premier's ministry, performed her first official duty as Minister of Health at the screening. Minister Brandy Williams expressed her gratitude with the number of men who participated in the screening.
It means then that persons in Nevis or men in Nevis are taking very seriously of the health implications and the need to do early screening. As the saying goes, early detection saves lives. And I think that our young men and older men in Nevis are taking this screening clinic very seriously. I must say thank you to Dr. Thwaites and his team. This is the 11th year, and we are happy that he has undertaken this very important task of bringing awareness to certain cancers and certain health care to our people in Nevis.
The Minister of Health encouraged the population to take good care of their health.
I am encouraging everyone on Nevis, both men and women, to pay attention to their health, to take advantage of all screening clinics when they become available. Early detection saves lives.
The Health Minister also thanked the doctors and volunteers for their immeasurable work. We also caught up with head doctor in charge of the prostate screening, Dr. Dwayne Thwaites, who expressed his gratitude to the media houses for disseminating the information. As a result, a total of 588 patients, 10 more than last year, received the testing on Saturday, January 13, 2018, at the Occasions Entertainment Center.
We picked up a couple of changes from the year before on some of the prostate exams, which we notified, and we're going to look into. But I'm very comfortable to say that we very rarely see really late stage disease cancer. I think that we are coming to amends with, and we're seeing less and less of that because people are aware of what's going on. I also think that the people that we see with the real bad cancers that we see nowadays are people who haven't been screened. Remember, this is our 11th year of screening, so we're at a point where we're seeing a lot of repeat players. We're seeing people who we knew in the past who had abnormal results who we've treated, and I've seen a lot of patients who have been away for treatment, for radiation, and those who have had local treatment for prostate cancer who comes back. And so I'm very comfortable with the population and with the amount of prostate cancer we're seeing, and I think that we're doing a good job. We can now see the results of 11 years of screening in Nevis.
He also expressed his gratitude to the sponsors and volunteers of the event. The screenings began at 8 a.m. and concluded in the early afternoon. After the screenings, the doctors and volunteers headed to Sunshine's Bar and Grill, who was one of the sponsors, for lunch. Still to come, 4 deserving students awarded scholarships by Alexander Hamilton Scholarship Fund. The details after this break.
Hello, my name is Culturama, the Caribbean's greatest summer line. Most islands have their festival annually, but they call it Carnival. With all those shows, we fete and fun. We party from sun up to sundown. Everybody come now, show the world what we mean when we talk about Culturama. Rocks up, rocks up.
Welcome back. KJL Isaac and Janice Williams of the Charlestown Secondary School and Kermani Hanley and Kimalia Warner of the Gingerland Secondary School are the 2018 recipients of the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship. The 4 students were presented with their awards on Friday, 12th January at the Alexander Hamilton Annual Tea Party and Scholarship Award Ceremony at the Hamilton Museum grounds in Charlestown. The Nevis Historical and Conservation Society partnered with the Department of Community Development to host the event. Community Development Officer Tracy Paris encouraged the scholarship recipients to maintain a high standard.
I implore of you to take some time to read about the life of the late Alexander Hamilton. He rose from humble beginnings to becoming a founding father of the United States, Chief of Staff to General Washington, one of the most influential interpreters and promoters of the American Constitution. He was a lawyer, military leader, political scientist, journalist, and a government official. It is your responsibility to remain your status as a scholarship recipient within the guidelines explained in terms of reference, which include maintaining academic eligibility and submitting the appropriate reporting forms and documentation required for the scholarship program. For the students to continue at high standards, we want to encourage you to keep the good work, and we are expecting great things for you in the future.
Minister responsible for community development, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, encouraged the 4 recipients to emulate the work of the late Alexander Hamilton.
You are very privileged and honored to be receiving the Alexander Hamilton Scholarship. I think the name Alexander Hamilton, you would have heard so much this afternoon, especially from Devon when he spoke, of what Alexander Hamilton, who he was, what he stood for, and what he rose to from humble beginnings here on the small island of Nevis to becoming a powerhouse in the great United States of America. And most of us underestimate the contribution that he has made to the United States. And we here on the island of Nevis must continue to ensure that his legacy lives on. So I want to specially encourage the 4 students who will be receiving the scholarship. And I want to tell you that as you receive the scholarship this afternoon, whatever you do from now, for the next 5 years in high school, you must emulate the work of Alexander Hamilton.
Minister Evelyn then presented the awards to the 4 students. The great-great-granddaughter-in-law of Alexander Hamilton, Mary Ann Hamilton, was a special guest at the afternoon's event. Acting Executive Director of the NHCS, Pauline Gunjiri, delivered brief remarks to the scholarship recipients, encouraging them to learn as much as they can about Alexander Hamilton.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Alexander. Happy birthday to you.
Meantime, Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, and the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society were invited to share in the Alexander Hamilton Awareness Society's celebration of Hamilton's 261st birthday on Thursday, January 11th. Based in New York, the Alexander Hamilton Awareness Society, through a variety of educational initiatives, aims to be a catalyst in inspiring more people to learn about Nevisian-born Alexander Hamilton and apply lessons from his life to their own. Premier Brantley addressed that gathering via telephone.
It is a very important and historic day for us. Each year we try to celebrate the birth of certainly someone who's a heroic figure here in Nevis, and someone who went on, as I like to say, one of the most important immigrants to the United States. Someone who contributed immensely to the life and times of the United States, who has now been immortalized in the US $10 bill, and whom we know contributed significantly Federalist Papers, the Constitution of the United States, and the first Secretary of the Treasury. So for us, I think Hamilton is a very significant son of Nevis. We are happy that he made a tremendous contribution to the United States, and we are delighted that we could all be here together, you in New York and us here at the site of his birthplace, to celebrate his 261st birthday. So we're delighted to be here. We thank all of you for braving the cold weather in New York. It's a little cold here too, if that's any comfort. And we certainly look forward to many, many more years of celebrating the life and times of Alexander Hamilton.
Also sharing in the celebration were 2 special guests from the United States, great-great-granddaughter-in-law of Alexander Hamilton, Mary Ann Hamilton, who was accompanied by Dave Downey. Downey used the opportunity to present Premier Brantley with a plaque from the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of the U.S. Treasury, was also the founder of the U.S. Coast Guard.
On behalf of the families of the World War II cutter Alexander Hamilton, we are presenting this to the island of Nevis, to the Premier. It means so very much to us to be here on Nevis anytime, but especially on Alexander's birthday. So this is a great honor for us. This is on our ship at the bottom of the ocean. That is why we picked this one and we are presenting it to you, sir.
Well, I want to thank you. I think this will have certainly a pride of place here. It will ensure that it is displayed prominently. And it will be a reminder, I think, to the world of Hamilton's contribution to the United States and his contribution to Nevis. We hope that this umbilical cord that connects us with the United States will continue, yes, for a very, very long time, and we look forward to continuing the celebration of Hamilton and to ensure that memorabilia such as this are here so that people who come and visit will remember Hamilton and remember his contribution and remember his connection to our little beautiful island of Nevis. So thank you very, very much for this plaque.
The Premier in turn handed over the plaque to Devon Liebert, President of the Board of Directors of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society. The plaque is now housed among other displays at the Hamilton Museum on Samuel Hunkins Drive. Also sharing in the brief ceremony were Sheila Daniel, widow of national hero and first Premier of Nevis, the late Honorable Dr. Simeon Daniel, as well as Acting Executive Director of the NHCS, Pauline Gunjiri. The Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris-led Team Unity Administration has brought relief to more than 150 individuals on St. Kitts and Nevis relating to the long service gratuity and severance payments. Speaking with the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister on Friday, January 12th, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Ron Dublin Collins, said the settling of these long overdue claims was a major focus of the government. In December 2017, the government settled more than 80% of the outstanding approved claims under Phase 1 of the payment plan for severance and long service gratuity. The Ministry of Finance released $2 million to settle the 157 claims, which totaled $1,631,316.09. Of the 157 claims, 77 individuals from St. Kitts received a severance payment totaling $596,087.60, while a total of 40 persons on Nevis received payments totaling $340,850.15. 35 long service gratuity claims were settled on St. Kitts to the tune of $604,580.56, with another 5 claims totaling $89,797.78 settled on Nevis. Collins said the aim is to commence the second phase of major payments by the end of the first quarter of 2018. This, he said, will bring the severance payment fund up to date in terms of payments of outstanding claims. The Permanent Secretary also noted that measures are being put in place to ensure that such a situation never repeats itself. He said going forward, there will be a timely way in which the funds are processed and communication with the general public will be much more improved. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.